All right, here we are, Fractal Islam, part 3. What is Fractal Islam? It is something new. It is something that is and is not Islam. It is a physics. It is second to physics a philosophy. I am Abe Zucca. I'm a painter and writer in downtown Phoenix. You could check out my art online at zuccagallery.com, or you can Google the name Abe Zucca and see what you find. I also have a gallery in downtown Phoenix at 1301 Grand Avenue. If you care to look at some of the greatest art in Phoenix, stop by. But right now I'm working on a project, the readings of Fractal Islam. Today we're gonna be exploring the epistemic revolutions of Galileo, Muhammad, and Shahab. Galileo, Muhammad, and Shahab. And yet it moves, nor does he speak from his own desire. How does truth happen? The moving earth. Every epistemic revolution begins with the relocation of the center. From earth to sun, from text to commentary, from certainty to doubt. Galileo did not move the earth, he revealed the earth had always been moving beneath the feet of orthodoxy. Truth shifts its axis first in the sky and then in the mind, and only later in institutions. A heresy is merely the first trembling of a future orthodoxy. The cosmos itself becomes thinkable only when we untether it from uninherited. The cosmos itself becomes thinkable only when we untether it from inherited geometry. The shifting revolution of Muhammad. Revelation is an epistemic revolution disguised as obedience. The Quran did not overturn pagan cosmology. It reorientates it. The same heavens, the same earth, but a radically different center. The Prophet's mission was not to add a new truth, but to recognize the universe around a single unicity, a tawhid. Revelation is the moment when epistemic gravity reverses direction. Truth descends rather than rises. This is Fractal Islam. These are readings and writings by me, Abe Zucca. You can check out my art at zuccagallery.com. You can ask questions about some of the readings. But right now, this project is called Fractal Islam. The project before this one was called Stalin's Closed System of Colossus. The next series, I'm not sure what I want to read yet. It might be about the Virgin Mary, Sophia. It might be about the philosophy of music. I don't know yet. The Satanic Verses incident reveals Revelation's early porosity. Before the boundary was sealed, the divine and the human coexisted in a state of molten epistemology. Sealed epistemology, post-prophetic revolution. When the last revelation descends, the sky closes like a vault. Interpretation becomes the sole mode of celestial movement. The sealing of prophecy forces truth to migrate from inspiration to method. Islamic epistemology becomes the art of constructing necessary impossibilities. Ismat al-Habi is not a theological doctrine, but a metaphysical firewall erected to protect the integrity of divine communication. In every age after prophecy, the guardians of truth substitute verification for revelation. Shahab Ahmed, epistemology of the impossible. Shahab's revolution is the restoration of an epistemic motion. The earth of truth begins to rotate again. To demonstrate that what is now unthinkable was once ordinary, opening is a fissure in the cement of orthodoxy. His question, how does truth happen, converts history from narrative to laboratory. Shahab is the Galileo of Islamic memory. The center moves, and the inherited sky trembles. In his cosmology, truths are not fixed points but trajectories, arcs traced by communities orbiting their own meaning. The satanic verses as mythic event. Ricorso cosmology, the story of the cranes. Memory is never innocent. Between angel and demon lies the frontier of interpretation. Liminal word. The satanic verses incident is not merely a historical claim, it is a mythic wound where the boundary between divine and demonic speech becomes visible. It marks the moment when Revelation's channel was still vulnerable. Before the seal, before the firewall, before the perfect closure of the prophetic organ. In Ricorso's cosmology, this moment is the primal reversion's failure. The divine stream flickers, allowing an alien syllable to enter. The event is mythic because it dramatizes an impossible encounter. The prophet as both mirror and battlefield. All later orthodoxy is the attempt to suture this wound retroactively. Angelic and demonic interference. The Islamic cosmos is a contested airspace. Angels descend with clarity. Jinns whisper from the shadow side of meaning. The satanic verses story functions as a theophanic test. Can the seeker differentiate between luminosity and echo? In the early cosmology, Gabriel is not a sealed conduit, but a luminous presence navigating zones of interference. The myth teaches that revelation is not satanic or static, but dynamic, emerging in an atmosphere charged with competing signals. Only later theology converts this fluidity into a perfect channel. Orthodoxy as retrospective editing. Communities edit their origins in order to stabilize their futures. The rejection of satanic verses is an act of cosmological editing, version control applied to revelation. Memory is recompiled, error becomes unthinkable, the early porous sky becomes an iron dome. Orthodoxy retrofits the past to match the metaphysics it would later deem necessary. This mythic event is the hinge upon which Islam's epistemology turns, from vulnerable to inviolable. The mythic poet Ricorso's integration. The prophet in Ricorso's cosmology is both messenger and mediator, a fractal body connecting angelic earth and human language. His early vulnerability is not imperfection, but metaphysical intimacy. Light so close to matter that a spark could confuse the two. The satanic verses are the mythic trace of this dangerous intimacy. The event dramatizes the transformation from an open channel to a sealed conduit, from becoming to being. It is the moment when the angelic earth tests its own emissary. Orthodoxy as angelic power. Integration with the angelic earth. Falsehood does not approach it. Angels are the architecture of divine order. The purest truths require the brightest guardians. Truth as angelic radiance. Orthodoxy is the terrestrial projection of angelic luminosity, a crystallization of celestial certainty into social form. Truth on the angelic earth is not argued, it shines. On the human earth, this shine becomes law, doctrine, method, condensed light made normative. Orthodoxy is the human attempt to maintain the coherence of an original angelic radiance. When a truth becomes universally accepted, it has achieved a degree of angelic transparency. Axioms of angels as guardians of epistemic boundaries. Angels do not merely transmit revelation, they guard its perimeter. Every orthodoxy has an angelic signature, a form of light that repels alternative interpretations like a magnetic field.